Dear learner, in this video I am going to discuss about library classification system. It is the part of our class lecture of BLI's first semester and the paper BLCC 103. In this video I am going to cover definition of terms related to the classification and the principles and guidelines in classification and the library classification system in general and specifically the Dewey Decimal Classification and different aspects of relating to the Dewey Decimal Classification system, which is commonly known as DDC. In the definition part, I am going to say that what is actually the classification. It is nothing but act of organizing the universe of knowledge into a systematic order. Library classification, in the other hand, the systematic arrangement of books and other material on shelves or of catalog and index entries in the manner which is most useful to those who read or who seek a definite piece of information in a library. So this is the two aspect of definitional aspect of two things. One is classification and another is library classification. What is classification system? It refers to a library classification scheme. For example, Dewey Decimal Classification System, Library of Congress classification system and much more. It is the basis for organizing a library collection. Library classification system is actually the basis for organizing a library collection. Now the call number. It consists of class number, that is notation that designates the class to where the material belongs. Book or item number or author number, and other part is date, volume number, copy number, place mark, etc. and together called call number. This is the unique number to identify an individual books or any other document. Now the two things is broad and closed classification. Broad classification, a classification that does not provide for minute division of a topic, that is called broad classification. And closed classification, a classification that provides for minute division of topic. So it is called closed classification. Notation, a system of symbols used to represent the classes and division of a classification scheme. So notation is nothing but a system of symbol or set of symbols used to represent the classes and division of a classification scheme. There are different kinds of notation as as example for pure notation, mixed notation, hierarchical notation, explicit notation, etc. Now the principles and guidelines in classification. Classifying library material in general should determine the subject content. How to classify library material in general? So first of all, you should determine subject content. Then consider the usefulness. Then make subject the primary concern. Then use most specific class number available in any classification scheme. Do not classify from the index alone. So sometimes the classifier, specifically the novice classifier, they try to classify a subject content of a particular document from the index only. Don't classify from the index alone. Don't classify from the title of the material alone also. So don't classify from the title of the material, title of the document alone, but you have to consult the other parts of the document also. Classifying multifocal or multi-element work. Sometimes the document is multi-topical or multi-element work. So classify under dominant subject. In that case, you should classify under dominant subject. Classify under the subject being influenced classify under a subject, not the biased element. Classify under subject instead of the tool applied to the subject. You should follow such kinds of principle when you are going to classify one document. Class under first subject, non-dominant topics. Class under broader subject or more topics. Library classification system. What are the different existing library classification system? First of all, Dewey Decimal Classification system, very popular and very oldest classification system. Library of Congress classification system, Universal Decimal Classification system, which is actually devised from the Dewey Decimal Classification system. Colon classification system, which is very much indigenous, that means it is Indian origin. And bibliographic classification system, subject classification system, expansive classification system, National Library of Medicine classification system, and much more. Lots of library classification system is there. The Dewey Decimal Classification system. I am going to discuss about Dewey Decimal Classification system, which is very much commonly known as DDC. So first of all, brief introduction about the DDC. It is devised by Melville Dewey, and it is the latest edition is 4-volume books. It is 23rd edition, and first came out as a 44 anonymously published pamphlet entitled A Classification and Subject Index for Cataloging and Arranging the Book and Pamphlet of a Library. So this is the very primitive name of the DDC. It is also revised and revised. Then it is comes to the Dewey Decimal Classification now. But previously it is known as a classification and subject index for cataloging and arranging the books and pamphlet of a library. What is the merit of that particular system? That is the DDC. It is practical, and it consists of relative location and relative index also there, and relative index brings together different aspects of the same subject scattered in different discipline. Pure notation of Arabic numeral, I can say that the Indo-Arabic numeral is universally recognizable, and it is used in this particular classification system. Self-evident numerical sequence is there, and hierarchical nature of notation expresses relationship between and among class number. Use of decimal system enables infinite expansion. Mnemonic nature of notation helps library user to navigate within the system, and continuous revision and application of the schedule ensures its currency. It's up to date. These are the very merits of DDC. What is the weakness of the DDC? Anglo-American bias. It is also found that DDC has the Anglo-American bias. Related disciplines are often separated, scattered. Proper placement of certain subjects have also been questioned. Literary work of the same author are scattered according to literary form, because there is a form division is considered. Base of 10 limits the hospitality of the notational system by restricting the capacity of accommodating subjects on the same level of hierarchy to 9 division, and it is uneven structure. No new number can be inserted at once. Lengthy number, as it is pure notation, so it's the number of class number is very much lengthy one. Relocations and completely revised schedule create practical problem in terms of reclassification. In case of weak libraries, the collection is huge, so it is very much impractical to reclassify the whole documents. Now the forms of revision. So how they revise the DDC, there are two things they actually follow, three things, that is the reduction, expansion and relocation. The three things is we found that in case of revision of the DDC, they follow reduction, expansion and relocation. What are the 10 main classes? You know, the 000 generalities, 100 philosophy and psychology, 200 religion, 300 social sciences and 400 language, 500 natural sciences and mathematics, 600 technology and applied sciences and 700 the arts, 800 literature and rhetoric and 900 geography and history. These are the 10 main classes of DDC. Now the number building technique. So adding an entire number to a base number. A bibliography for physics. The main number for bibliographies and catalogs of work on specific subject or in specific discipline with a note to add to base number 016 notation 0012999. The number for the specific subject 016 the bibliography number, and the number for physics is 530. The subject number added to the base number C016530. The resulting number terminal 0 remove, and you know after 3 digit you should insert 1 decimal point. So 016.53 is the correct number. Now adding a fraction of a number or fractions of numbers to a base number, another category. So a general Russian periodical, for example, the number is 057.1. How it is built? Number for all serial publications and indicated in the index 050. Numbers in schedule for serial publication in Slavic language. With instruction, there is some instruction, add to base number 057 the numbers following 037 in 037.1 to 037.9. So following this instruction, your number would be, number for Russian is 037.1. Add the number following 037 to the base number 05071. Resulting number is 057.1. Now some auxiliaries. There are some tables, auxiliaries. Table 1, the standard subdivisions. Table 2, geographic areas, historical periods, persons. And table 3 for the subdivision of individual literature for specific literary form. There are also table 3A, table 3B, table 3C. Table 3A is for subdivision of works by or about individual authors. Table 3B, subdivision for works by or about more than one author. And table 3C, the notation to be added where instructed in table 3B. Table 4 is the subdivision of individual languages. Table 5, racial, ethnic, national groups. And table 6 is language. And table 7, the group of person. I will discuss later in the next videos what is the different and elaborately what is the different aspect of tables and their uses. The notes, very important component of DDC is notes. Definition of notes indicate the meaning of a term heading. So notes nothing but it indicates the meaning of the term headings. 004.7 peripherals. Suppose, for example, input, output, storage device and work with a computer but are not part of its central processing unit or internal storage is actually known as peripheral. So it is actually the peripheral. What is the definition of it? So different kinds of nodes is there in the DDC. Definition nodes is actually indicates the meaning of a term heading. So term heading, in case of that example 004.7 peripheral. What is peripheral? It is defined by the DDC giving some definition node. Input output storage device that work with the computer but are not part of its central processing unit or internal storage is called peripheral. Now the scope node, it indicates whether the meaning of the number is narrower or broader than each apparent from the heading. For example, the arts, it is the description, critical appraisal, techniques, procedures, apparatus, equipment, material of the fine, decorative, literary, performing and recreational art. So it actually expresses the scope of the work, the arts, and that's why it is known as scope nodes. Another thing, number built nodes, source of built number. For example, 353.13263 foreign service, number built according to instruction under 3522354. So 352 to 354 is the foreign service, and number built actually there is a node. So you have to follow this node from the 352 to 354. Former heading node, the Quechua and Amiran languages. Former heading Andean languages. So it is the former heading node. It indicates what was the former heading of a particular terminology. Variant name nodes used for synonyms and near synonyms. 332.32 Savings and Loan Association, variant names Building and Loan Association. So these are the variant name nodes. It indicates saving and loan association, but variant name building, loan, building, saving, etc. It does loan association, etc. It is called variant name nodes. Class year node list major topics in class which may be broader or narrower than the heading. For example, 371.92 parent school relation. Class year parent participation in school. Comprehensive work on teacher-parent relationship. So class year node is another important aspect of DDC. Including node identify topics that have standing room in the number where the node is found. For example, 374.22 groups in adult education, including discussion, reading, self-help, special interest. So it is known as including nodes. Class elsewhere node leads the classifier to interrelated topics or distinguish among numbers in the same notational hierarchy. For example, 791.43 motion picture. Class photographic aspect of motion picture in 778.53. Class made for TV movies, videotapes of motion picture in 791.45. C reference, another kinds of node, lead from a stated or implied comprehensive number for a concept to the component parts of the component concept. For example, 577.7 marine ecology, class year lilies. For orchidal, C 584.4. See also 583.29 for water lilies. That means when you found the marine ecology, the number, the particular class number also refers you C or C also reference is given. That's why it is C or C also reference node. Discontinued nodes indicate that all or part of the content of a number have been moved to a more general number in the same hierarchy or have been dropped entirely. So such kinds of provision is there, and that's why the DDC also provide discontinued nodes. Within square bracket 516.361 local and intrinsic differential geometry number discontinued. That means in that present edition 516.361 is not local and intrinsic differential geometry. It is discontinued for that particular edition. Relocation note state that all or part of the content have been moved to a different number. For example, within square bracket 370.19 sociology of education. Sociology of education relocated to 306.43. So such kinds of notes also provided into your DDC schedule or DDC classification system. Do not use notes. Instruct the classifier not to use all or part of the regular standard subdivision notation or an add table provision in favor of a special or standard subdivision at a broader number. For example, within square bracket 374.809 historical geographic person treatment. But under this there is clearly mentioned do not use class in 374.9. So that's all. It is the different aspect of DDC and its different kinds of nodes itself. Thank you for watching this video.